say quotes, and then let's begin. Joel and Joe Buck, and then you. Oh, I could say your name actually, and then your podcast starts.
You see, I was thinking, how about we started with this is Bobo and JoJo's Bizarre Adventures podcast up in this bitch. But you don't know nothing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Why are you even called JoJo?
Because I'm Jordan.
You just met. Oh. Yeah, okay, yeah.
It'll pass.
But you don't know about them Bizarre Adventures yet.
Those are good. How have I not liked that? Because you work the teaching. Yeah, I still don't. Just an exception.
Oh yeah, I'd already started streaming. But as far as I know, I'm on blank screen, right? Let me make sure.
Naya, how you liking high school?
It's good. I like it there.
Y'all understand y'all are on the internet, right? Just make sure y'all understand that. I mean, it's fine, but just... okay, cool, yeah. Okay, yeah. Just blank page right now. Gucci. At least you're not on camera. Alright. So that would be one way to intro into the stream and to Bobo and JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Is Jordan gonna stream with you?
No.
Oh.
I mean, supposedly she wanted to do a podcast, but we'll see about all that. And really, a multitude of things came together that made me think about doing this, but one of them was, her saying like, well, why don't we do a podcast and you'll be Bobo the angsty zebra because I think you're like Bojack, and I'll be JoJo and Bobo and JoJo's podcast, and I added the Bizarre Adventures. But that's, I mean, at least one of the reasons. Holy shit, these cats.
Get down, crazy.
But that's one of the reasons why, like, I was like, well, shit, let me see if I can just
Get something started.
do it. Yeah. And I figure why not start with whatever I have, and then, if I'll enjoy doing it, then I can invest a little bit more money in some more, things that make it look better and present it the way I envision it to be at its best. But last time, what did I talk about? I just brought up a bunch of maps and I whispered into the mic a bunch because everybody was asleep. But everybody's up.
Yeah. I'll be up for a while now because I just slept for 4 hours.
Yeah, so, and there's cats getting killed in the background, but that's fine. And the washer's done, so I figured I could stream for a little bit. And really what I'm going to do now, because last night I just, looked into some of this, this nation tartary that I've heard a little bit about, and I haven't really done any research about it. I'd only watched YouTube videos on it. So then I started to a lot of times when it comes to historical documents and stuff, I'll look in the Library of Congress first before I branch out into other things. And there just so happens to be a whole lot in the Library of Congress surrounding this nation that none of us were really clued into. So, yeah, I'm just going to continue to do that. But today I'm not going to fuck around with the maps and the books and all of that and get into John Ranking's book. I mean, I might get into that at some point, but right now I want to look at this fucking cat's going at it. But right now I want to look at just newspapers, like the New York Times and some others that actually mention this nation. From what I've been told, I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna look in the Library of Congress right now, because if it's in the newspapers, it should be preserved there, and easy to find.
Babe, I'm texting Alyssa right now, not to change the subject.
You can do whatever.
But she just said, "Do you remember when you told me Caleb was celibate and I thought
I probably shouldn't have muted the mic at that exact moment.
you shouldn't mute the mic anyway? I don't know why you do that."
And I probably should get some music running, to be quite honest, in the background. Just there's been enough, but like I don't like empty spaces, but at the same time I don't like talking 24/7.
Yes,
So
you do.
not well.
Okay, I'll read the text.
To myself, which is kind of like this, to be quite honest. But what?
I'll read you the text. It was funny. She said, "Remember when Caleb said he was celibate and I thought he was a serial killer?" I said, "LOL, that mug ain't celibate no more, but yeah, that shit is funny." And she said, "What made me think about it is because I saw a TikTok. It was about all these famous people who practice celibacy."
Okay.
But that is funny that she thought that.
I mean, I ain't about to be no celebrity up in this thing, but well, maybe. Who knows? I don't fucking know. That's not really the goal.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is just give expression. Alright, there's an ad for the free use music. That's a good sign.
How was your day at work?
It was a good day. Had the bosses in, the owners of the company, the owner himself, actually, should I say. At least 51% of the company. But, yeah, nothing crazy happened, and
So you had a good 2 days.
yep.
That's good, because after last week you needed it.
Yeah, I was like, but that's how it goes sometimes. You have just like fucking stressful ass days, and it's just like it ain't that fucking serious like it shouldn't be. You wouldn't think, but
It can still get stressful.
yeah, I suppose everything can. It's not that serious, but at the same time, it's like, oh my god. Exactly like that. You just fall to your doom. Oh man, why don't these cameras like this stay? It's so weird. I wonder if on broadcasting they have just like we started streaming tag. That put on this thing.
I was going to say you didn't like the way that it was set up at first.
Yeah, at first it was. It wasn't great. They got this useless bicycle over here that I keep forgetting.
Yeah, it's not useless. One of my employees needs it.
Well, yeah, not useless, but unused around here. But yeah, I could do it. Oh shit, somebody's on the fucking broadcast, technically.
Who is?
Somebody.
Huh.
Let me have her face. I shouldn't have said her name on the fucking.
It's okay. Believe me, she's all over
Oh.
TikTok.
Wow. Okay. I just want to be mindful.
You want to be demure?
Oh hell no, that's modest. I
No.
don't give a shit about
Oh
that.
yeah, you're not on TikTok. I forget. There's like a
Oh, is that
trend,
like everything.
and there's a
right
trend.
now?
It's like you have to be mindful. You have to be demure.
Well,
Like
that's modest.
it
Isn't
goes
this-
on and on.
Well, it can be considered demure, I suppose. That's what So now it should be both of them at the same time.
Both cameras.
Yes. For some reason, one of them was frozen.
Oh.
I am live.
I wonder how bad my crunching sounds in the back.
Gosh, I mean, we're just gonna get started. I got music playing, so hopefully it shouldn't be too bad for me. And However, like, that is harmful to my ability to go anywhere. It seemed a little strange. But, I mean, there's so many. I'm sure I'll look into some of those things, but in some of the books that people were writing about, like, the theories at the time, like, I mean, it's kind of wild. Like, let me look real quick. I don't know how many I have. I think I only have the ones about plain sailing, honestly, which is funny to me. Yeah, okay. So, like, for instance, and this is old, so the language is, excuse it. It must be obvious to the reader that if the earth be the globe of popular belief, the rules observed for navigating a vessel from one part of this globe to another must be in conformity to its figure. The datum line in navigation would be an arc of a circle, and all computations would be based on the convexity of water and worked out by spherical trigonometry. Let me preface my remarks on the important branch of our subject by stating that at sea the datum line is always a horizontal line. Spherical trigonometry is never used, and not one out of 1,000 shipmasters understands spherical trigonometry. You see what I mean? Like, you should need that spherical trigonometry to fly a plane, or at least in the calculations that a pilot would follow, or to sail on the seas and get where you're going. But you don't. You function as if it's a plane, as if it's flat. That's how you navigate. Which seems like a contrivance if it is a globe. You know what I'm saying? And with storytelling and with reality. But I mean, and this is one of my, I don't remember the quote. Maybe I could Google it. I'll just paraphrase it. But it's like, reality has a handicap that fiction doesn't have. Fiction has to be believable. Reality doesn't. So.
Yeah, who said that?
Don't know. Don't remember. Just read it, I think, somewhere. Let me see real quick. Oh shit, ain't nothing playing. Video paused. Why do they keep doing that?
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together. Try 1 month free.
I think it's Mark Twain. Yeah. The only difference between reality and fiction is that fiction needs to be credible. So, it's, meaning truth is stranger than fiction a lot of times. This is one of those times. Because it doesn't make any sense, like, just realistically, that, yeah, of course, why wouldn't you treat the globe as if it's a plane in order to get where you're going on it? Why don't any ships use globes as maps? All their maps are flat maps. But wouldn't you want the most accurate representation of what you're sailing on?
You would think.
Weird. But then again, like, people who dig in the dirt, cut canals, people who lay railroad track, they would have to, whoever designs them shits would have to use spherical trigonometry. They don't. Roller coasters would need to use the shit. They don't. Architects would need to use the shit. They don't. Like it's hard to get around that one. Yeah, this is mostly just about plain sailors. But there's so many little things like that. Like, shoot, have you ever wondered how, like, have you ever seen the nuke test footage? Oh, shit, maybe I should show. Point is, 1930s cameras survived a nuclear explosion and videotaped it, and the film survived the radiation from the test blast. Must have been some real space age shit. Like, I don't. Ugh. If you see the pictures of the bombs that we dropped on Japan, you'll notice the exact same mushroom cloud. The exact same. What are the odds that they're exactly the same in that picture? All the variables involved for a mushroom cloud to be exactly the same as one dropped miles from the other at different times. Before we got there and took over their media, they were reporting that Nagasaki and Hiroshima were victims of a firebombing campaign by the U.S. Not nukes. And guess what? Tokyo sustained more damage than Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And it's an admitted firebombing that Tokyo went through. It's kind of odd that firebombing would have more detrimental effect than nukes while we're perpetuating their, like, you know, the shit. How the fuck can't you live in Chernobyl for 10,000 years? But these Japanese niggas was planting food and living in the motherfucking cities that were nuked weeks after, not even weeks, days after they were bombed. No problems. Suspect. Not to mention, you got people like Galen Windsor, who ran all the nuclear power plants on the eastern seaboard, who said it's not even feasible, it's not even possible for them to do the bombs they're talking about, and radiation doesn't even harm people. And he's like swimming in the water that they use to cool down the radioactive isotopes to show investors how safe it is. I have to research what happened to him. I imagine he killed himself, 2 shots to the back of the head. But like, I don't know for sure. I wouldn't be surprised. You got me all off track. I'm supposed to be looking at
Yeah, I tend to do that.
Newspapers. Alright, now I don't need to really have my oh yeah, I gotta fix the fucking I wonder what's up with that. It's probably like just the CPU or some shit. Okay. So that's fine. I gotta go to the bathroom anyway here pretty soon. Which one? There was two of them.
What?
Yeah, they split when I was,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't know, 12.
Well, I don't know which one.
I don't know either.
But anyway, she put these cute pictures of you on there.
No, the fuck she did. I ain't got no cute pictures.
Uh-huh. Look at you here.
Oh, okay.
And this one.
Oh.
And that one.
I mean, okay, whatever.
Cute pictures.
It's cute. My dad's cute. I'm not cute.
Whatever.
You're talking about. I refuse to lose. What is this? Claders, American Claders. The plutocrats managed to feed the people on the foulest adulterations. Adulterations. Adulteration of the food. What? Preserved with borax? What? Wait a minute. I mean, I got thrown off for real. But I got to pee so damn bad, y'all.
I thought I was going to be able to stay up late, but I could go straight back to sleep.
Look, so could I. Oh, shit. Oh, no, I'm probably way too loud. I don't know. We should just... Gotta go to the bathroom.
You ready to go for it?
Town. From Birmingham. Like the big fucking blind.
From Birmingham?
Oh, yeah. So apparently there is of Tartary as late or early as 1911. Yo, let me make sure I got this date right.
The YouTube Music app has ad-free workout playlists just for your ears.
Sunday, March 19th, 1911. I just don't understand why this nation's never talked about in our books. When they have them, like, some of the globes that were made, they're like bigger than the United States as far as like how much land they have. It's an empire of all these different states. I think that would be something they would teach us, especially in the United States, you know what I mean? When we were a country, still, when they were, what the fuck? I don't understand. Valoroso the 24th, king of Patagonia, sat with his queen and his only child and daughter at a royal breakfast when a letter was brought in. When a letter was brought in announcing that Prince Bilbo, the son and heir of the king of Crim Tartary, one of the Tartars, and they always have to like specify: is it Chinese Tartar, is it Russian Tartar, is it independent Tartar, is it Tartar, is it Crim Tartar? And there was a bunch of them. I seen yesterday that it arouses suspicion.
You're so dramatic.
Arouses suspicion. You know what I'm saying though? Like, am I tripping? Is that not weird? Like, I thought they taught us, like, yeah, it's not they teach us about everybody, but it's not like, oh, I'm just not worried about Gamescom. I'm just not worried about Till I'm just not worried about Napoleon or something. I don't understand. The whole nation, like, kind of like cut out of it. Because this is 1911 and they're still a country. Like, what's happening right now? I don't know about it. This is how this woman described the Crim Tartary monarch, the Prince Bulbo. What? That delightful, wicked, brave Prince Bulbo. Okay. That witty, accomplished fellow, so brave and so fascinating, who slew 10,000 giants at the Battle of Rimbombento. What do you know about Prince Bulbo? Damn.
I'm about to get rid of
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta go. Just put them in a crate and just, or in a bag, throw them in the river. This bitch just said that he slew 10,000 giants. This is 1911. At the Battle of Rimbombento. This is the Alabama Herald, the Birmingham Herald from Alabama in 1911. Talking about what the princess of which nation is this? Patagonia. Or Patagonia. No, I have no idea. I'm just reading right now. But why would they put it in the paper? Is it a story? Oh, maybe it's a story. Still, I like to read this shit. Man, this shit's kind of cool. Sometimes stories are kind of, give you a little sense of what might have been. Well, you know what? You're right. Let's not be part of this here. What's this one? This one is also Alabama. Okay, so maybe they were on the story. What about Indianapolis? December 5th, 1930. A bunch of so, Volga boatman land to drop ancient ways.
Ouch. That's what I'm saying. He is psycho.
Finnish offshoots, about 500,000 each. Beyond Tartary. Moldovians, Celts, not to mention the scattering of Jews, Ukrainians, and various races. Nearly 4 centuries have passed since Ivan the Terrible conquered Tartary. Nearly 4 centuries have passed since Ivan the Terrible conquered Tartary, yet the Tartar music, even now, has scarcely a suggestion of the Russian about it. The same is true of the other racial folk songs. tripping? When did Hawaii become part of our nation?
I don't know. Look it up.
Check out Tommy Richmond's song and video, $1 Million Baby, on YouTube and YouTube Shorts. Your one-stop shop for music.
What's it say?
It's just an article about Charlie. Manchuria and the River Moor. Manchuria, or Eastern Chinese Tartar, occupies the vast region subject to China along the North Korea, which is Siberia, from which it is separated by the Crabapple Mountains, so called by the Russians for their abounding tree-bearing small fruit resembling crabapple. As a pretty specific distinct name of Scandinavian mountains. Extending northeast of Okata, spotting to the Bering Straits. It is bounded on the west to Mongolia mountain range, on the east of the Sea of Gulf of Tartary, the Sea and Sea of Japan, and the south by the Great Wall Barrier of the States, Gulf of Lautaro, through the hostile territory. Okay. I got you. What? Is this what they got me? Is this what it is? I'll tell you what. You old goose Wayne on him. Go goose Wayne on alright. Draw one. Alright. Look here. I want to do it to you, but I might have to do it to you. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. So we get you. Baby. I don't know. I do not know. I was trying to see if. Let me turn this up real quick and I'll turn it down on this. There we go. Let me see if this got anything. Wait. Okay. Well, okay. Should be fine then.
TikTok.
Sounds like Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's like a race. You pick a marble.
Gotcha. Fix that. I don't know how I can do it, but we're gonna have to work on it. Another splash over. What? Huh? So I'm having another splash over that Russell Reserve. Okay. It's Birmingham. The Sun. You're telling me the Sun has been around since 1896, at least? Sheesh.
The what?
The Sun, the media newspaper company,
Newspaper.
the religious procession of the Tartars. Aster. Under the White Tsar, the peoples and tribes ruled over by the Russian autocrat. The fundamental elements of the diverse the diverse Russian populations. What does that say? The Finns, the Tartars, and the Slavs. The Finns of Finland, their brethren in the Baltic provinces, and their uncivilized kindred of the steppes, the Tartars in the different parts of the empire, the Kalmyks and the Siberians. Okay.
Go to sleep.
Y'all motherfuckers better be in bed right now.
You didn't hear him?
Yeah, I heard them. That's why I'm telling them they better be in bed right now. Crimea, place they were fighting over a few years back before Trump got in office. Then they stopped. Then when Biden got in office, they went back to war in Ukraine. It appears to have been their capital city at one point, Crimea. The Tartar women are not so handsome as the men. What? Is that a wild thing to say? They mar their looks by plastering their faces and dyeing their hair, palms, and nails. Huh. They're spoiled by their indulgences, spending days after days squatting on cushions thrust over the rugs that cover the floors in their mud dwellings. It really is hard to agree to the definition that ranks the Aborigines of the north coast of the Crimea with the Tartars. Huh. Ancient mounds, prehistoric times, people supposed to be the Goths. Then in ancient times, Greek colonies were established there. Goths. Goths. 1918, the Kremlin Gate is described as Tartar architecture. Let me take a little look-see. Yeah, that looks like some old world shit. Some big shit that we don't really see built all that often today. As far as I can zoom in, eh? Interesting. Where is this at? The Kremlin. Russia. Wait a minute. Huh. I ain't gonna say nothing about it. Russian types of Tartar women of the Caucasus, Russia. Okay. I ain't trying to bag them baddies. No, thank you. need a splash. If you say so. Yeah. Get out of here. Yes. I don't even know what that looked like. Okay. Whatever. Looks like a star for it. I wonder if there's any mention of those in here. Oh, it's trying. Oh, no. It's been a minute. I said free you. And it just started playing its own shit. It just started playing its own shit, yo. Hopefully it ain't a big deal. Now I'm playing commercials on there for free. Anyway. Newspaper, 141,000. Oh, okay. That's our 141,000. ain't struggling. No less than 8 feet tall. Mm, 1950. Yeah, I'm just kind of bouncing around. It ain't nobody's goddamn business what I'm looking at. You just keep it to yourself. Okay. You know what? I know one I want to look at. Tell them what this is going to look like. If you ain't heard of this shit right here, this might be a little interesting. It's still searching. Still loading. Here we go. Orphan train. Let's see. Let's see here. It reads, Orphan's Address. The following lines written by Mr. H. Smith, author of The Rejected Addresses, were repeated by a little girl of 8 or 10 years of age at the anniversary of the Jews' hospital in London in April last. When all over the world, the orphan train, thrown helpless on its stormy tide, looked trembling round and seek in vain some guardian power their path to guide. When wearied friends no longer stretch the hand which once its bounty gave, and want and woe assail the wretch whom age is bending to the grave, then charity, thy parent smile, the orphan's sorrow can assuage, and with a filial love beguile the miseries of childless age. For you the infant voice aloud is daily raised to bless your care. For you the hoary head is bowed in gratitude of silent prayer. Hence studied praise and trite appeal, the wailing tone, the tale of woe. A scene like this your hearts must feel, and bounty from such hearts must flow. From John Ball, The Invitation. Oh, goodness. Well, this is the invitation from one of the patronesses of the ladies' fancy ball. But what the fuck is that? Why is that in there? Orphan's address. The middle of the paper. The orphan train. I'm looking for an advertisement, really. Maysville, Kentucky, August 22nd, 1892. It just says train a lot, and I'm guessing there says orphan somewhere. Somewhere completely random. No. Years ago, Scott came to this place an orphan from Randall Island, New York, and was a bright boy. He was taken by ex-county treasurer Posed and learned the barber's trade. At the same time, Thomas Taylor was taken by the late Alonzo Blair as the orphan train passed through the city, and is now a prominent lawyer of New York City. So, I mean, I guess it's just like giving up is, yeah, this is what we were doing. A victim of strong drink. Key West, 1959. Oh, orphans training. The orphan, the unspeakable train of woe and misery. The wall of orphan. What? Unspeakable train of woe and misery that leads from the battlefield to the home. There's a new disease in town. Oh, God. I don't think that's the same. The eye that moistens at the tale of sorrow and of pain, the heart that opens to the wail of the sad orphan train. Oh, be they mine, such heart and eye, lost human nature dignify, this world of beauty and of bloom, fair fields and golden skies, the brilliance of heaven assume. To him who never denies unto the feeble, sick, and low the blessings he can well bestow. The orphan train. It's coming. Might want to pick you up a kid or two. There's all these poems in these newspapers about the orphan train and getting orphan kids from it. It's kind of weird. I don't know where all these orphans are coming from. After the Civil War and before World War One. For like 90 years, it seems. I'm kind of thinking we should just call it a damn night, because I mean, how long we've been rocking for an hour and a half.
And you're all.
I'm all over it. Got the orphan train in here. I got some target in here. Y'all trying to tell me about I mean, to be fair, I might have to pause this every couple minutes. I might have to put a mask on this bitch just in case, but it's more like every 20 seconds.
To build the Honda CR-V Hybrid. To build the Honda CR-V Hybrid. To build the Honda CR-V Hybrid. To build the Honda CR-V Hybrid.
But since we're jumping all over the place, let's see what they have to say.
How old are fossils? If you grew up like I did, taught in a state-run school system, you probably have a ready answer. Millions of years. I grew up learning the... How old are fossils? If you... grew up like I did, taught in a state-run school system, you probably have a ready answer. Millions of years. I grew up learning the typical evolutionary story party line regarding rocks and fossils.
So, if I can paraphrase things to an extent, they found that under very natural conditions that happen from time to time, like a lot of times, fossils can be made in about 24 hours. This, in and of itself, plays with the biblical story very well, where a lot of these fossils that they're using carbon dating to claim as if it's billions of years old could have been made in a single day under biblically speaking, under the flood. The amount of displaced water and soil could have easily created these issues. But let's see what's next.
Slow fossilization ideas were true, and that fossils were millions of years old. I read books with detailed and colorful diagrams showing that fossils formed mostly when animals and or plants died in watery environments. And there would often be references to former inland seas from millions of years ago, of course.
Of course, millions of years ago. That's what they have to say to support their own contrivances and their own storytelling.
In the area where the particular fossil being discussed was found. And I could easily recite standard examples of how fossils form to any adult that would bother to take the time to listen. I'd typically use the canned example I'd seen and heard so often, a fish. According to the typical series of pictures,
The typical. What is typically shown to us as we are just trying to, have our brain develop. This is what they're teaching us. To slip it by you before you're cognizant. To slip it by you before your critical thinking skills are very sharp. To slip it by you before you've been in the real world or experienced anything. Just saying.
I'd seen depicted in a wide assortment of books. A fish would die, sink to the bottom of a lake, and get slowly covered in layers of silt and mud. Then, as millions of years would pass, the sediment got compressed as new layers gathered. The mud would turn into rock.
Yes, you would have these sedimentary layers that form on top after millions and millions of years. Although sometimes inland, away from the water, you would see such geological columns, yet you would see a tree that somehow has lived for millions of years because its roots go down to the Paleozoic era, the Paleozoic era, the Jurassic era, the Triassic era, the time of the Cambrian fucking incident. Anyway.
The fish would become permineralized and voila, it became a fossil. And so convincing was this seemingly scientific process that I never seemed to compare it to what I'd actually observed dead fish doing, sitting on the bottom of the Atlantic at the end of a wooden dock I'd sat on, feet dangling over the water in Newfoundland. If I'd just taken a few seconds to think about it, I would have easily realized that what my own eyes observed is that dead fish tend to...
Yeah. Not to mention other things eat the animals, bones and all, a lot of times. So the only fossils that you're finding is usually from extreme events where something got buried almost instantaneously. It insulated it, it kept it mummified to an extent. So, some kind of event. Not what happens to everything as they would need it to be.
To float and bloat. And the ones that were at the bottom were chewed up by crabs and little nippers quite quickly. And even the bones didn't last all that long. I realize now that I'd been taught what to think, not how to think. And I never heard anyone challenge these ideas in class. And like me, due to that widespread evolutionary indoctrination in the school system, most people, even Christians, still believe that it takes millions of years for rocks to form and a living organism to become a fossil. I realize now that a major reason I never doubted these ideas is that I'd never been shown...
Fuck. I fucked up. Okay. Damn. Well, let's back up just a second. Okay. The indoctrination, the schools, what would... And scientists, you know, if you want to pay back them student loans, you gonna have to play by the book. You gonna have to play ball. You gonna have to do what the government, come to the conclusion the government wants you to come to. Otherwise, you ain't never gonna get another grant. You gonna be broke, and you ain't gonna have no work as a scientist. That's what I was saying, to be honest with you. And let me mute myself again so I can forget again so that I can...
evolutionary indoctrination in the school system, most people, even Christians, still believe that it takes millions of years for rocks to form and a living organism to become a fossil.
And I was going to say, we still believe that because that's all we've been taught. It's not until recently that science has proved that that's not necessarily the case. But that's what we're here for, so let's not jump ahead too far.
I realize now that a major reason I never doubted these ideas is that I'd never been shown an alternative for how fossils could have...
Sorry. Like I said, I was jumping ahead a little bit, I guess.
Formed. I never heard one person in my earlier years ever mention that a giant catastrophe, especially the Great Deluge recorded in the Bible, could have buried creatures rapidly and completely and formed fossils very quickly.
Very quickly. I'm not telling you how old the Earth is, but I'd be very cautious if I was you. I don't know if they're going to get to it in this video, but if they don't, I'm going to remind myself. If they don't bring it up, I'm going to talk about a couple of things.
Years ever mentioned that a giant catastrophe, especially the Great Deluge recorded in the Bible, could have buried creatures rapidly and completely and formed fossils very quickly. After revisiting the whole idea,
Yeah, so what I was going to say is if they don't talk and speak on carbon dating, then I need to speak about it. But I set an alarm, so hopefully I won't forget.
Of fossilization many years later, I realized that evolutionary researchers can't explain many things according to that long age paradigm, which is likely why they've more recently begun to embrace and incorporate catastrophic explanations into their evolutionary system. Like why they've found fossilized animals in the middle of very specific short-term activities and actions, like eating or giving birth. For example, a fossil of a squid-like creature was discovered in the southern.
Now, I don't know how many of y'all have worked at like a restaurant, or if you have any experience yourself of dealing with seafood, but most specifically calamari, squid. They break down incredibly quickly. I mean, again, I don't know what the video is going to say, but incredibly quickly. Like, usually they've been eaten by other animals after they've died, like, in seconds. But I have heard of fossils that are in the record of a squid-like creature in the middle of eating something, which is odd, to say the least.
Coast of England with its arm wrapped around a fish with a head that was crushed. This supposed 200 million year old fossil was discovered in the 19th century, but was recently re-examined and identified as the oldest known example of a coleoid, a class of cephalopods that includes octopuses, squids, and cuttlefish, attacking its prey. It appears that the belemnoid captured, killed.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. If you know how quickly that these fucking squids break down, you would know that it's very unlikely that you would be able to, based on how we're taught that fossils work, we're taught that something dies and then sediment slowly encapsulates it for tens of thousands of years, and then the bones and things ossify under that pressure over another tens of thousands of years, and then you might have a fossil. This thing is caught in the act of eating something or giving birth. These things happened in an instant. It shits on a lot of things.
Killed and was about to eat a fish when, according to evolutionary researchers, both animals were buried in sediment so suddenly by a catastrophic event that they were entombed instantaneously, and obviously fossilized quite quickly before decay set in, because cephalopods like squid and octopus turn into jelly quite quickly upon dying. These types of fossils are becoming well.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you have ever seen a jellyfish, a squid, an octopus, like these things that don't have a whole lot of internal bone structure, when you've seen them die in the ocean, they're gone. Things eat them. They're everywhere. That, like, they break them down, and they're gone.
Well known. For example, at the Creation Museum in the United States, we have a fossil fish displayed that was swallowing another fish while they were buried. Another is the fossil of a horseshoe crab with its tracks visible in the sediment it was traveling along. This indicates that not only was it buried at lightning speed according.
You see what I'm saying? How is that possible based on the way that we were taught that fossilization works? Where geometric columns build over these skeletons of the dead. But yet its fucking tracks are visible. A fish is in the middle of eating another fish. There's no way it was dying then unless something catastrophic was happening. And then you want to explain to me why they wouldn't tell us that it's possible for things to become fossils if there's a giant fucking flood. Why would they avoid telling us that? They would avoid telling us that and putting that in the curriculum for one specific reason, in my opinion. But let's keep going.
According to the common geological perspective, but that the right chemical conditions in the sediment for rapid fossilization to protect the specimen and its tracks must have been present, eliminating the need for any kind of deep time process to account for the fossilization process. And even more rapidly decaying soft-bodied animals like jellyfish have been found in Australia, Canada, Germany, the United States, and other countries. And this presents an incredible conundrum for evolutionary scientists, because jellyfish decay so rapidly they typically leave no trace whatsoever.
No trace whatsoever is what they typically leave behind. But yet we have them fossilized, and they try to tell us that it happened in a slow pace, that it took millions of years. I'm unconvinced. Let's just say that.
After a very short time. And the features of the fossil jellyfish discovered are so well preserved they reveal minute details that demonstrate the complexity of the ancient jellyfish are actually very similar to their modern counterparts. That means these fossils formed very rapidly indeed, which means the sedimentary rock they're preserved in hardened almost immediately as well, not slowly over thousands of years. Now, fossils are typically embedded in rock, which means if the fossilization of an organism occurred rapidly, then the rock they are trapped in must have formed quickly as
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense any other way. You can't try to say that this fish died in the middle of eating another fish, and that's why. This squid died in the middle of eating this thing, and that's why. I don't feel like that's Occam's razor. To say that a being or a creature that was designed to eat this other creature died in the middle of eating it, and then was fossilized over the course of tens of thousands of years, because nothing else that degrades things, that breaks down organic material, decided to deal with it, especially a water creature. I mean, like, there are situations where, okay, you're at extreme heights in a certain mountainous range, and because you're at those heights, there's a particular element of cold that's constantly involved with that region. So if you die there, you're almost preserved, almost mummified, right? I could understand that. That makes perfect sense. In the ocean, however, there's got to be, I mean, quintillions of fucking things tearing these things apart and breaking them down constantly. But these are old world theories before they knew a lot of the things that we know now. That's why we're seeing all the holes in them, and why they kind of, well, let's focus on space. Well, let's focus on something else that the holes haven't been illuminated quite as much on, because holy shit, is there a lot of holes in this?
well. And as we just saw, the fossils and rocks I mentioned earlier didn't come about according to the tales I'd been told as a young, naive, and easily influenced student.
Look, honestly, I gotta piss. And I don't want to play it while I'm gone, because I kind of want to react to it, but I'll just apologize. Well, I'm just going to leave the camera down there for now. Fuck it. Okay.
the naturalistic indoctrination most people have received is powerful.
I'm sorry.
Fossils are typically embedded in rock, which means if the fossilization of an organism occurred rapidly, then the rock they are trapped in must have formed quickly as well. And as we just saw, the fossils and rocks I mentioned earlier didn't come about according to the tales I'd been told as a young, naive, and easily influenced student. But the naturalistic indoctrination most people have received is powerful, and sometimes hard to break.
To say the least. I mean, understand me. I was taught all the same things you were taught. Some of the things that I espouse that are ideas of mine get knowingly I will be ridiculed if I bring them up. Why would a person knowingly choose who doesn't have a boogie 2988 or whatever the fuck humiliation fetish? Why would somebody who doesn't have a humiliation fetish knowingly espouse a position that they know will get them ridiculed? What would it take for a person like that, who's basically a normal person, to forego the risk of it? I think most people would agree that they would have to believe they're right. They would have to believe there's some validity to what it is that they're saying. Maybe they're just crazy. I don't know. Shit.
Most of us have been told over and over since we were very young that it takes millions of years for large portions of strata we see around the world to have formed. But there's a lot of evidence against that long age paradigm. Similar to our fishy fossil finds, how would that explanation fit with the clock in the rock found in Washington, USA in 1975? Obviously, the clock.
What? The clock in the rock? It obviously isn't millions of years old, right? Unless you want to concede another point. I mean, unless you want to say there's million-year-old tech wizards. But I don't think they want to concede that one. So then what are you going to concede? You'd have to concede that fossils don't necessarily mean old age, right?
Clock isn't a millions of years old construct, and the rock it's embedded in was formed after the clock was, which disqualifies it as an ancient fossil relic. So we know that rocks can form rapidly under the right conditions, and we can find evidence of this having happened throughout the world. All those fossils found across the earth are consistent with rapid catastrophic burial, and the sheer magnitude and worldwide scope of them speak.
I'm not sure if you see where this is going. But let's continue.
Speak of them as the consequence of the global flood described in Genesis 6 to 9, Noah's flood. When you realize this was a real event, you can understand that the flood would have swept away plants and animals, creating huge amounts of biomass and burying them in waterborne sediments. This would mean
It's almost like there's some validity to that book that nobody can find fault in.
Many were buried en masse, which would have created huge fossil graveyards, of which we find many around the world. As one example, mixtures of fossils found together of creatures that wouldn't normally coexist in the same environment have also been found in fossil graveyards, like the Messel Pit in Germany. Here, fossils of birds, amphibians, reptiles, insects, fish, and mammals are found in the same place. And this
So, again, I'm not sure if they're going to touch on this, but if you're into evolutionary biology, look into the Cambrian explosion and see how many different species are present in their full forms that they're still possessing of right now. Just saying.
once again does away with the old slow and steady evolutionary story that I'd been taught. Not only that, but many of the animals in the pit, some of which are extinct while others are just like those we see in present times, are so well preserved they show color, fur, and food in their stomachs, and demonstrate certain activities like pairs of turtles mating when the catastrophic event that preserved them occurred. Demonstrate certain activities like pairs of turtles, birds, amphibians, reptiles. This would be met with rapid catastrophic burial, and the sheer magnitude and worldwide scope of them speak of them as the consequence of the global flood described in Genesis 6 to 9, Noah's flood. When you realize this was a real event, you can understand that the flood would have swept away plants and animals, creating huge amounts of biomass and burying them in waterborne sediments. This would mean many were buried en masse, which would have created huge fossil graveyards, of which we find many around the world. As one example, mixtures of fossils found together of creatures that
I went back too far. But nonetheless, some real shit, yo. And again, I'm not sure if he's going to bring it up, but scientists in a lab created a fossil in 24 hours. This isn't fucking speculation that the shit can happen quick. It can happen quick.
wouldn't normally coexist in the same environment have also been found in fossil graveyards, like the Messel Pit in Germany. Here, fossils of birds, amphibians, reptiles, insects, fish, and mammals are found in the same place. And this once again does away with the old slow and steady evolutionary story that I'd been taught. Not only that, but many of the animals in the pit, some of which are extinct while others are just like those we see in present times, are so well preserved they show
so well preserved you can see the color,
color, fur, and
fur, food in their stomachs. But it happened over millions of years.
Food in their stomachs and demonstrate certain activities like pairs of turtles mating when the catastrophic event that preserved them occurred.
Okay, well, the thing says synthetic fossils right here, the chapter of the video, so they might get into it. Let's see. But yes, they, as far as I know, they were able to synthetically create fossils under natural, ish conditions. So let's see.
How long does it take to make a fossil? Try asking that question with your friends and family as an experiment. Those unfamiliar with these arguments, of course, as a metric of what most
Sorry. By all means, take a guess. How long do you think it would take? Maybe I'm not right in my guess that I believe that I read or was told that it could be recreated in 24 hours. So it's got to be somewhere between 24 hours and millions of years. You guess.
people believe about these ideas. What will you hear? A million years, 100,000, 10,000, a week? Watch many of them shake their head in disbelief when you tell them the scientific fact. A day. Yes, that's right. Fossils have been made in a laboratory in 24 hours, mimicking naturally occurring fossils to a T. This news was published in a secular article from the University of Bristol called Creating Synthetic Fossils in the Lab Sheds Light on Fossilization Processes. Which mentions that the experimental samples, or what they refer to as synthetic fossils, are compared to real fossils, supposedly thousands or millions of years old, and they were basically identical. The article described their similarity as not just superficial in nature, not just visually, but also microscopically, as revealed using a scanning electron microscope. Scientists even found that just as in the naturally occurring fossils, the 24-hour fossils contained preserved microscopic pigment-bearing structures called melanosomes that reside within the organic films in feathers and lizards treated, while unstable protein and fatty tissues degrade and are lost. This experiment accomplished using a hydraulic press that reside within the organic films in feathers and lizards treated, while unstable protein and fatty tissues degrade and are lost. This experiment, accomplished using a hydraulic press, shows that under the right conditions, fossils can form very rapidly rather than taking millions of years.
Who is surprised right now? Not I, said the cat.
The fossil evidence found around the world only makes sense in the light of a global flood. The rapid burial caused by consecutive water surges and associated layers of sediment preserved and fossilized the animal bodies and even their footprints and other tracks. 2 Peter 3:3-6 states, knowing this first of all, that scoffers will come in the last days with scoffing, following their own sinful desires. They will say, where is the promise of his coming?
So, I'm not sure if he's gonna get to it. I'm gonna wait. So we might have to watch another video. So I'm no scientist, but certain things don't make no damn sense. But we'll get there.
For ever since the fathers fell asleep, all things are continuing as they were from the beginning of creation. For they deliberately overlook this fact that the heavens existed long ago, and the earth was formed out of water and through water by the word of God, and that by means of these the world that then existed was deluged with water and perished. Noah's flood is the only clear explanation for the great variety of fossils that experts find today. And
Just a question. Or maybe a point of research. But have you ever heard of anyone else discovering dinosaur bones except for an archaeologist? A person in the profession who stands to gain the most from the discovery? Instead of, I don't know, construction, demolition, any kind of digging whatsoever that, is usually done by, blue collar, hardworking individuals. But for some reason, it seems like a lot of discoveries, when it comes to especially things that would support the evolutionary ideology, or whichever way of looking at things you'd like, if it supports that, it tends to be discovered by an archaeologist. But I'd love for you to research yourself and see just how many. There are some funny ones out there too. Some that are still in textbooks today. I forget which Neanderthal type skull it is, where the scientist that took credit for it, the skull itself has been a known fraud for decades, but it's still in a lot of textbooks, and it's I think it's Cro-Magnon Man, but I'm not 100%, where they ripped the jawbone off of the skeleton of an orangutan and glued it onto a human skull. And they said, look what I discovered. An earlier version of man. And these niggas couldn't smell Loch Ness on it. They couldn't smell nothing on it because it conformed to what they wanted to believe already. That we came from a lightning bolt that hit some sludge, that the sludge had kind of found its way up on a rock, and then that sludge, that primordial ooze, if you will, got struck by lightning, and then that lightning somehow created DNA, and the first one-celled organism and two-cell or multi-cell organisms, and that's where everything came from. Every plant, animal, fungi on the planet came from that primordial ooze that sludged itself onto a rock somehow and was struck by lightning a few billion years ago. That's their story, and they're sticking to it. Let's see.
And powerful evidence of quickly buried animals like octopuses and jellyfish, before they could decay or be scavenged, speak of the authenticity of the biblical account. Explanation for the great variety of fossils that experts find today. And powerful evidence of quickly buried animals like octopuses and jellyfish, before they could decay or be scavenged, speak of the authenticity of the biblical account. Jesus said, "But if you don't believe me when I tell you about earthly things, how can you possibly believe if I tell you about heavenly things?" John 3, verse 12. These.
Okay, I'm not trying to preach to you or convert to you. I legitimately want you to just look the shit up yourself. Come to your own conclusion. Don't just trust what they tell you and what they've taught us since before we were cognizant.
Topics can be used as a segue from the material to the spiritual in conversation with those around you. Why not plan on asking the question, how long does it take for a fossil to form, to someone that you know soon? It may make a great springboard to some great conversations the Lord will use to enlighten someone.
All right, they ain't gonna get into it. I'm gonna get into it. It's just 3 minutes. Genesis apologetics. What? I mean, okay.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com.
Miraculously creating the world and everything in it in just 6 days, about 6.
Okay. So give me a break with that. But to be fair, the Bible and those who believe that's counterculture now. So it won't be long before the kids realize that's what's cool.
6,000 years ago. But the theory of evolution has a much different timescale, taking millions of years to go from goo to me and you by way of the zoo. Which view is correct? Well, to be honest,
The goo. I do think that's what they're going to try to do. Have you seen Alien Romulan come out not too long ago? It's the black goo that makes the perfect human worker that can travel out into the cosmos. You're gonna love it out there. Send us some postcards, because I ain't fucking going. I'll tell you that much right now.
both views require faith because no one was there thousands or millions of years ago to observe how it all got started. But can the idea of millions of years of evolution be scientifically validated? Can we really prove this idea of deep time using the same observational science we use for making medicine and
I don't know if I said it earlier, but this is so big to me. What did they teach us all? This is one thing they taught us when we weren't quite cognizant yet. And again, I think they taught it to us then so that we wouldn't ask questions about the other things that they were teaching us at the same time before we were cognizant. So when they teach us about the scientific method, it needs to be able to be observed. It needs to be testable. You need to be able to come up with accurate hypothesis, accurate predictions as to how the experiment will play out. With evolution and with many other things that they teach us, but especially with evolution, we can't observe it in its time. We can't test it, and we can't make accurate predictions based on it. It's therefore unscientific. But it's almost like they're like, oh no, the scientific method doesn't apply to real science. It's like, really? Okay, so real science doesn't need to be observed. It doesn't need to be tested. It doesn't need to be able to accurately predict anything. But there's a reason why they still call it the theory of evolution, the theory of gravity. But anyway.
And putting people on the moon? Validation is the process of confirming what is believed to be true by what can be observed to be true. Has this ever been done for radiometric dating, the process that gives us the very idea of long ages? Actually, long ages and
Now again, I can't say with 100% certainty, but I know that what I've been told from people who have more experience in this field than I do is that whenever you use carbon dating, radiometric dating to determine the age of something that has a known death date, you don't get a correct answer. So if it can't give you the correct death date of something when you know when it died, you know the exact moment it died, but it'll tell you it died 3,000 years ago. It died yesterday. That's a problem. Like, that's not scientific. But to each their own.
And radiometric dating hasn't stood up to the validation test. Radiometric dating has never been validated against the absolute known ages of rocks. Let us
Damn, it's almost like they did some research.
explain. Consider Mount St. Helens. This volcano erupted in the 1980s, giving scientists the opportunity to date the rocks that were formed from the eruption. The results? 5 different ages, all between 350,000 and 2.8 million years old, for rocks that
The actual known age, 30 years. They knew it was only 30 years old, but the carbon dating put it at 1 million or 275,000 or 3 million or 2 million or supposedly, and again this is anecdotal, but I was corresponding with a certain professor at a particular university. I don't want to say too much, but I challenged him to carbon date a living animal and to see what it says. It told him that the animal died. I think it was 1800 years prior. It was still alive. Sue me. I don't trust you.
that we know were less than 30 years old. This discrepancy happens all the time in radiometric dating studies. In fact, there has never been a radiometric dating analysis that simply produces ages that validate to the known ages of rocks. And if radiometric dating doesn't work for rocks of known ages, why do we trust it for rocks of unknown ages? So the next time you hear millions of years ago this happened or that, just ask, how do you know that for sure? And if
That's my point. How do you know that? Just like they try to tell us that they know, okay, beneath the crust is the mantle, and beneath the mantle is this, and then beneath that is the core of the earth. They can only drill down 8 miles, which is not even a tenth of what they say the crust is. So how can you tell me what's beneath the crust if you can't get anywhere near it? Is this theoretical? If it's theoretical, then I mean, I guess that's fine, but just tell me it's a theory. Don't act as if we can get to the center of the earth.
If radiometric dating is the answer given, just ask, are you aware of a study where the radiometric age of a rock agreed with the known age of the rock? And you'll find the answer will undoubtedly be no. God wrote with his own hand that he created the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them in just 6 ordinary days.
Now look, I can't necessarily corroborate all this because I've only read the Bible. Well, I've almost read all of it one time, so I can't corroborate all this, but still wild. But the reason why I brought up the carbon dating is because, like, the reason I bring up the carbon dating is because, again, they use these fossils to make these wild claims about not only how old those particular fossils are, but about the nature of reality and about the nature of the history of all these species on the planet. To make such a grandiose claim based on the radiometric or the carbon dating of a particular sediment, you would think that people would analyze the method, the efficacy of that particular method of testing. And some people have, as we were saying here, but the vast majority of people know because they were taught a certain thing. And again, we were all taught bullshit. So it's not like I'm any different. You know what I mean? I was so certain that I knew what I knew. But my worldview has been destroyed so many times since I was born. It's like, it's not nothing, but it's not painful for me anymore. It's not traumatic, but for some people it is. It's part of their worldview. They'll feel incompetent or they'll feel stupid, even though they've just been kind of duped. They've been manipulated. They're a victim almost of being taught purposefully incorrectly. But a lot of people cling to what they know, and that's understandable. Whether we're talking about history or we're talking about science or whatever they've been taught the longest, what they've believed the longest is going to be the thing that it's going to be the hardest for them to admit they're wrong about or to let go of. And you're going to have that cognitive dissonance where sometimes people will choose to just continue believing what they believed before, even though now they know it's incorrect. But we can't be mad at nobody. It's just about talking. Like, because I don't know anything for 100%, but I know it makes sense to me. And I'm not really sounding like Bojack, am I? I mean, like, am I don't think so, but because I don't hate people, I don't particularly like people either, but some of them. If I try to give everybody a chance, I don't know why I'm talking about me. I don't need to be talking about me. They'll find out enough just by watching my crazy ass talk on it. What's it been? 2 hours, 45 minutes online, 252 off. Well, you want to look at YouTube, see what's popping up? See if the EFAB guys got anything. See if that's 5 months ago.
I'm in the restroom. I'm gonna be back out. I bet. I'm in the restroom. I'm gonna be back out.
Yeah, I got to mute myself.
This is DRD. Dr. D, not Dad. I'm in the restroom. I'm gonna be back out. I bet my. I'm in the restroom. I'm gonna be back out.
Yeah. I said, kind of like Peter Parker. Nigga, we on the way home. Nigga, how long I been froze? Y'all niggas ain't know. And ain't nobody want to tell me, bro. Alright. Let's go. Properties. Getting alleviated. Up in this bitch. I love doing this shit. Talking to whoever. Wait. It still ain't fixed. I don't give a fuck. I like this beat, bitch. Like Pete, no way home. But I'm in my mild zone. Alright, let's y'all niggas slow like molasses. I don't know, but I'm just spitting the classics. Called Tizo. It's elastic. Let it bounce back like magic. Down in Orlando. Nigga, we had it. But we had to get away, son. So now we off in the sticks. But we ain't no bums. nah, bro. The revelator soul. Everything but his soul. Had to keep that shit so close to the best nigga y'all just don't know. Follow the Lord and go low. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Oh shit, it was okay, it was paused. So I was never even froze. That's good to know. Hey, let's get that next beat up there, man. I ain't freestyled in like years. Right? Like, at least 6 months. Too much sauce. I'm just too much of a boss. I'm just fucking right. It's the clown I sound. What's T's old time come round? It's that Russell's Reserve, nigga. Get from round. But, yo, I'm winding down. But I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Tell your friends if they ain't watched Days of Lame now. What's this dude doing? Oh, who knows? Can't keep up with it. I wish I knew the name of that beat. That shit is sweet. Alright, look. I'm gonna do it anyway. Comics Explained. He had. I mean, I might have to go back. I don't know for a fact. Like, let's see here.
Father knows about saving money. Everything I'm wearing, I've had since boot camp.
And I just saved on my car insurance for driving safe with USAA.
Auto insurance that flexes with fit to fit. That's what we're made for.
Okay.
Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you guys are enjoying the content that we're throwing up. And make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoy the video. And yeah, let's begin.
No, let's not do that.
Peace.
Huh. Oh. I know what it is. Oh, so it is an actual song. The beat's crazy. I don't know what it'll do under those circumstances. Yeah, I don't know who fucking made it, but you gotta save it. I don't know. When I'm riding through the streets, I expect hell. But nigga, I'm perfect cell. So I'm gonna write you a love song. And you know it's gonna start with D, and it's gonna be hella long. Oh no, I've been freestyling, and y'all can't hear the fucking beat. Damn, it makes me wanna hide inside, beat my meat. But I can't do that because I gotta test the T, the testosterone. So I gotta keep it all at home. Man, I feel so alone. Nah, really, cause I got my baby with me. Y'all niggas always on that fucking bullshit. But me, I'm on that bullshit. Never fucking stop the full clip. Just keep fucking busting. Y'all niggas lunch, and if you think I'm gonna stop, you must be on that challenger mission. I'm blowing up. Your girl throwing up. Nothing but some fucking nut. And the stream started out so wise, so intelligent, so well mannered. And y'all niggas like, damn, who the fuck is he? Bruce Banner? The nigga done burst out the spandex. Still got the purple drawers on landing. And I swear he was some windy. Yeah, your baby see me and she of course wants sex. But I kinda like Luther, I be on my like shit. Obviously. But for real, we gotta stop doing all that. That's probably copyrighted shit. I don't know why I would be doing shit like that. We just, okay, I mean, that's what we gonna do. I guess real quick, because I did give a little rundown at the beginning. That, you know, baby girl, JoJo wanted to do, you know, or at least gave me the idea to do Bobo, the Angsty Zebra, a Bobo and JoJo podcast. And I don't see anything wrong with that idea at all, but we don't, you know, I work, you know, so I ain't here all the time, but like, it gave me the idea to do something like this, so, but the name, the Angsty Zebra Predator, maybe you can figure it out yourself, but Bobo the Angsty Zebra was taken, and the Angsty Zebra was taken. And I was like, well, really, Bobo and the Angsty Zebra come from BoJack Horseman, and baby girl calls me BoJack, so like, you know, that's what she sees. But what do I see? And I see a monster, so like, and I love the Predator dreads. That's why I wanted dreads. That's why I got plaits in the first place, was to look like this giant monstrosity, like this monster. So like, and it works, to be honest with you. People see me and nigga, they make sure the doors are locked. They make sure they all right, because they're like, oh shit. It's a good thing he's one of the good ones. All right, I need to call it a night. I'm gonna call it a night. I do love y'all guys. You guys. I just I want you to stay free, stay safe, stay armed, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Be ready. You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate y'all stopping by, checking in with the boy here and there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just looking out. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I just I enjoy doing little things like this, so that's what I want to do. As much as I mean, you know how it is. These fucking. It's like. You're doing something that you want to do, but you know. You know, the chances are against you. It doesn't matter what exactly it is, you know. But that to me is also the fun part. Like, whenever we step on the court against people that we knew were on paper outclassing us, like, it's time. You know what I'm saying? It's time. And we're just learning to do this shit on the fly while we're working. I figured why not create content while we learn to actually stream, because it's like I was like, well, I should make a list, and then I make a list, and it's like, okay, get the proper computer, get the proper headphones, get the proper camera, get the proper this, get this, do the research for this, and that. And I was like, fuck, by the time I do all that shit, I could have had 4 months of content with me working to slowly progress to make it better. Why not let people see that shit as opposed to put yourself in production hell? You know what I'm saying? Like in, what do they call it in the film industry? It's like, that's what it is, right? It's like production hell. Like you're in, like things keep changing, like directors changing or whatever, and you keep having to work on this movie for 2 years or some shit. Development hell, whatever it is. Instead of doing that, while I try to have fun in my life and take care of those in my life that I love and that I want to do things for, at the same time trying to save money to do something special that I don't want to mention here, while at the same time saving money to get the proper equipment to do the proper thing, or commission somebody to edit this so that I can send that. Or you can just start working right now and slowly build that shit yourself, like as you go. And you know, I don't see any problem with it. So that's what we're working towards. Luckily, I'm in a situation where I got a lot of support, and it's like I'm almost going to be held accountable if I'm not streaming every day. So that's nice too. And I can't ask for more there, but this, you know, for y'all, as for right now, like, I'm going to call it a night, but, you know, like I said, I love y'all. Y'all stay free, stay safe, stay on. Hope you're any people never harm. It's Cloud9, baby. And tomorrow, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. I want to work on a little bit of different things, like, you know, see if I can stream off my phone, maybe do a workout. Shoot, maybe I'll write a song. Maybe we can put that up. I gotta find some different ways to film for now. And like I said, like, I'm still working 12 12 hours a day, so I'm gonna do what I can on the days that I work, and I'm definitely gonna do what I can on the days that I'm off. Hopefully to just be able to express myself and some of the ideas that I have, and put myself in a position to speak to a lot of you guys out there, potentially. But we'll see how that goes. Y'all be easy. Like I said, this is Iron Man, the Predator, the angsty zebra, Bobo himself, Cloud9, ENT. We signing out. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Alright? Y'all be good now.